So we had this harebrained scheme to create a new space holiday, a holiday that will be celebrated 10,000 years into the future, because we figured when human beings are living throughout the galaxy, they'll always remember the first time a human being left the home world for the first time. So we thought up this crazy idea to still have a big space party, and at first I thought it might be a good idea to do it in Houston and in Moscow. But we were, in the middle of Europe with delegates at the United Nations conference from all over the planet, and they said, "What about Sydney? What about London? Are you going to leave us out of this?" And we thought, "Oh my God, no! What an oversight! I apologize." And so George came up with the great idea of calling it Yuri's Night and allowing people all around the world to participate and get involved. So the first year we kicked it off in 2000. We announced it. We said, "Come and join us. Come and be a part of this. Come be a part of history. Come create the future." And we had 79 events in something like 39 countries sign up and participate and host events. And it was an extraordinary thing. We had a telethon, you're on the line with people from Africa and people from Asia and people from Australia. And of course, they're like up in the middle of the night to be able to talk to us. And it's really extraordinary. You have the language barrier, you have the time zone barrier, but you really get that people around the planet are all connected by this. And it was just extraordinary. So this year, is our 8th Yuri's Night.
How many parties?
And we are upwards of 191 by my count this afternoon, and I'm clear we're going to break 200 this year by the end of the whole poll. I wish we had the party map. So you can see all the dots that light up. If you've been to our website, you can see we have a Google map with the dots all over the planet. We've got parties in Ethiopia. They're doing a party with like 3,000 students. We've got a party in Dar es Salaam, Kenya. We've got a party in Nigeria. We've got a party in Brazil, in Chile, in Colombia. We have a party in Mexico, all over the United States. Just messes of parties in the United States. Baton Rouge. So, our counterpart, our sister party at the Yuri's Night Center. Sorry, the Yuri's Night Center. That was a Freudian slip. At the NASA Center, NASA Ames is in Mountain View, California. They're the first NASA Center to officially participate in Yuri's Night last year. They had a huge, our flagship event, they had 4,000 young people from throughout the Bay Area come, descend on the center. They had a massive party in one of the hangars at NASA Ames with like 2 sound stages like blaring all night. It was awesome. And they're doing it again this year. And they said, this year we want 8,000. And so Goddard got word of that, and they said, well, we can't let this happen. They can't be the only ones. We got to throw down. We're going to have our own nightclub party here. We've got the biggest disco ball on the planet. We're definitely qualified. We're in. So we definitely are grateful to Goddard for being our host tonight. They're fantastic, and we're really trying to reach out to a new demographic and make space cool. So we're just sort of.
Do the wave. Come on, yeah.
So people are just coming. So they're making announcements in the hallway now, letting you know that there's going to be a presentation coming on in the Science of the Sphere Theater, which is what you're in. And so, whew, I'm winded. Here's your glow stick. So maybe wait for people like that then. Oh, I brought my glow stick. I think now that it's dark enough, I can officially ignite my glow stick. Let the games begin!
Space!
Oh.
Wow.
That's technology. So, I wanted to. Is Amy around? Amy's our mistress of ceremonies for the evening. She's a NASA civil servant here at Goddard. She is fantastic. She stepped up to run this local event. I just am the idea person. We just create the whole thing worldwide. But Amy's really been the point person for making all this happen here. All the signs you see, all the lights you see, all the alcohol. The refreshments you see, all the blinky pins you see. Everything really all came together because of Amy. So. I'm going to turn over to her in a second, but let's see. Anyone have any questions about Goddard or space or wormholes or Yuri's night or anything?
How long was he up
Yuri was up 108 minutes, I believe. It was one orbit. The orbit's about 90 minutes. Yeah, it was up 108 minutes. So Yuri went up for one orbit, which was pretty revolutionary for the first human being. Did I just randomly say a key word?
It's a sun.
Oh, I'm a really, really bad unintentional punster too. I should let you know that too. I'm funny. Because when the first American went up, which was about a year later, Alan Shepard, he did a suborbital space flight, which was to go up and come down the same place. So that on the Russians, on Yuri's first flight to do a full orbit was quite an extraordinary feat. So he's quite proud of that. And he was 27 when he did the flight, which is one of the youngest people ever to have flown into space as well. And the other neat thing about Yuri's night that we like to talk about, well, there's a couple other things that I want to bring your attention. Number one is also the anniversary of the first space shuttle flight. The maiden voyage of the Space Shuttle Columbia, was April 12, 1981, and it was 20 years later to the day after Yuri's flight. And it wasn't like NASA planned this in homage of Yuri or anything. It was a coincidence. It was actually supposed to be April 10th, but a young co-op at Kennedy Space Center found an error in the code and ran to his boss and said, "Boss, there's an error in the code." And he said, "Oh my gosh, stop the count." And they worked for 2 days to get the code and the error and the bug in the code fixed, and then they were able to launch on April 12th. So it's an amazing cosmic coincidence, and I thank that co-op every year for doing it. But so that's the reason we picked April 12th, is because we thought it was a good day for all the world to come together and celebrate space together. Both former superpowers is a day that everyone can celebrate.
And it's your birthday.
Oh, and it's also my birthday. Happy birthday! And the other thing I want to highlight is that the other big theme of Yuri's night is environmentalism. I mean, the quote we have on all the postcards outside that you can grab is what Yuri said when he got back from his flight, which was, looking down from my orbital spaceship at the world below, I marvel at the beauty beneath me. People of the world, let us gather together to protect and enhance this beauty, not destroy it. So that's the vibe, that's the message. Thanks for being here. And without further ado, I'll turn it over to our mistress of ceremonies.